Testing 1, 2. Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. So it's a very exciting moment. Because just a few short moments ago, you received your own Chumash, which tells the stories and traditions of our people. And immediately, we've surrounded you with the very same Chumash, but of course, our sacred Torah. So I know you just put your Chumashim down. But if I were allowed to, which I'm not, but if I were allowed to give you a homework assignment, Kitabet, I would tell you to turn to page 204 in your Chumashim this weekend, where you will see the beginning of this week's parashah. Anyone know what we read this week? What are we reading from the Torah this week? It's not accidental that we're here today on Erev Shabbat to celebrate the giving of the Chumashim. What do we read? Someone, there was a hand here. Yes?
Yitro.
Yes, excellent. We read Parashat Yitro. And of course, within Parashat Yitro is the Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 Commandments, which you just taught us so beautifully about. So I want to teach you one quick thing, and then we're going to read from the Torah. Is this week's Torah portion is actually not called the 10 Commandments, which is what it should be, right? It's one of the most famous stories in the Torah, but it's called Parashat Yitro. Now, Yitro was actually a relative of Moshe, Moshe's father-in-law. So why do we call this week's parasha Yitro and not the 10 Commandments or Moses goes up the mountain or lightning and thunder strikes, like all those things? So there's a very, very important lesson, Kitabet, and that is when you receive the Torah, is that you are never, never alone. This week, Moshe has Yitro. This morning, you were looking around this room and you see community members, rabbis, teachers, grandparents, friends, family, relatives. You're never alone because you're always surrounded by those who love you so much. You're also never alone because you're surrounded by this beautiful Torah and you are given a wonderful gift of something that will guide you forever, which is the Chumash that you received today. What we will do now is read a selection from the Torah that also reminds us you're never alone. And this portion teaches us that you're never alone because God is always with you. So I think you actually know this part of the Torah, so I'm actually going to ask for your help. Daphna has volunteered to point in the Torah because we're going to read a very famous passage, which you say every day, at least in the morning and perhaps even at night, and it's called the Shema. And it's immediately followed by the Ve'ahavta, which teaches us a wonderful message that we should always love God, and that we should always teach everything that's in this sacred scroll to our children, to our family, to our friends, to our neighbors, and to celebrate every day as if it is the day that we receive the Torah. So prior to this reading, we will say the bracha that's ever appropriate for this occasion, which is ending Notein HaTorah, that we praise God for the giving of the Torah. I will then read from the Torah, and then we'll conclude that with the reciting of Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Together, ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha. Bechol avavcha, vechol nafshecha, vechol meodecha, vehayu hadvarim haele, asher anochi metzavecha, hayom alevavecha, veshinantam levanecha, vedibarta baham, veshivtecha beveitecha, Uvlechtecha avadere, uvshachbecha, uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafod beineinecha, uvtaftam mamazazod beitecha, uvisharecha. May the words of our holy Torah be with you today and every day going forward. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. So I'll ask everyone to continue to stand still. You'll notice wonderful spaces in the Torah that help us understand where we are. It's an incredible journey, and we're so thrilled that everyone has begun it together today with the receiving of the Chumashim. We're going to ask the students to proceed back to the stage for the grand finale. We're going to ask us to carefully re-roll the Torah scroll. Thank you to Mr. Shapiro for helping us do that in an efficient way. And then we're going to invite all of you to join us back in the audience very quickly for the grand finale. Mazal Tov again. Please, students will go back with following their teachers, parents and families and friends and siblings. We'll go back to the audience. Thank you.